A nice little lens for you Lumix shooters, some big and small RGBWW LED options out there for both light panels and NanLite. Some cool stuff has popped up, so stick around, let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Seth Miranda here. This is Adorama Rewind. I know it's 2 weeks in a row you guys are getting spoiled, but some cool things have popped up and I had to hijack the channel and talk about them a little bit. The first one we're gonna go into is this Panasonic Leica DG Summilux lens. Yep, 9mm f1.7, a spherical rectilinear, meaning it's a 9mm 1.7, a fast, ultra wide that you could think of as like an 18mm if you want to think about it in full frame terms, but it's rectilinear, meaning it's corrected. So you're not gonna see so much warping going on. It's also a pretty fast lens. They're claiming that it's pretty good for not only just fast focus, but keeping up with high frame rates. You're also looking at minimal focus breathing. It's a tiny little lens, not a lot of things on it. There's no switches or custom buttons or anything like that, but it is under 500 bucks. It's a Leica Lumix lens, ultra wide and pretty fast 1.7. So if you have been looking for an ultra wide option for you Micro Four Thirds shooters out there in the Lumix space, this might be for you, especially for gimbal people, right? So if you have the new GH6, for example, on a gimbal and you want a nice ultra wide that's not going to be a big lens, that's kind of the advantage of Micro Four Thirds, is keeping the form factor small, right? There's a lot of other things. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of what Micro Four Thirds is great for, but this is a really nice option for you out there if you are a Lumix shooter. 9mm is a pretty fun one, especially when you have a minimum focusing distance of around like 4 inches. Yeah, so you can get super close to your subject. Now keep in mind, with it being a 9mm and it being so wide, when you get that close to your subject, you are casting a shadow at some point, or the lens itself could be casting a shadow. So if you are looking to do close-up work, keep in mind you might have to figure out the lighting a little bit, or keep it, frame of mind of where the light source is coming from, or creating your own light in general. But yeah, like 4 inches minimum focusing distance is nuts, but that's super fun, and it's really a lot of fun for people that like to shoot wide in general. I know when we shoot wide, we tend to step closer. Well, it's nice to have a lens like this where you don't have to even think about the minimum focusing. Basically, it's like a non-existent issue. So check that out. Let me know down below if you are in the Lumix system, and let me know what you are shooting with in that system and what you shoot. I'm pretty curious what's going on out there. Let's jump over to lighting land. So Litepanels has put out a 2x1 RGBWW LED. Yeah, so hard is the key here right now. So we've seen the Gemini soft before, and you know, it's easier to make large lights that appear soft than it is to make larger lights that appear hard. What's interesting about this one is it's basically that soft version with the lens removed, but lenses added to each LED. So what you're looking at here is a 2 foot by 1 foot RGBWW panel that has lenses on each LED, which takes the beam angle down to 20 degrees. So you're looking about 20,000 lux at 10 feet away from subject. That is a lot of power, and it's basically them using the physics of lenses rather than actual power output, because as a low draw, I think they said something about 500 watts, which is pretty impressive. And the RGBWW is like icing on the cake, right? Because usually you sacrifice power to get that color, but you don't seem to be doing that here. So if you are a Litepanels fan, this is a great addition to their lineup. I think Litepanels has done some great stuff. They definitely keep the price point a little lower. This is looking around 6K. Other brands are a little bit up there, but Litepanels has been around for a long time, and they're a very trusted brand, and I've seen a lot of their innovation over the years, and this is just another one of them. Of course, keep in mind, when a light is hard, you can always make it softer, right? So they have like lenses you can swap in and out of this, diffusers and other modifiers for this light. So it's not as easy to make a softer light look hard. So this gives you a little more flexibility and versatility as far as how you want the light to look when you start off with a hard source and then break it up, diffuse it, however you want to do modifier wise to make it softer if you want that type of light pattern. But I think the star here really is the fact that they were able to get that beam angle tighter to boost up the power for you guys, as well as the weight. Sorry about the train, guys. As well as the weight. So this is coming in about 25 pounds, and that sounds crazy if you're not used to this space or class of lighting, but 25 pounds with all the power and everything included is relatively lightweight for what you're getting out of this. Really great for on location stuff, or getting multiple units, or just transporting them, or even, I don't know, just gripping them, like keeping them up and supported out there on the set. So if you have been looking at 2x1s, if you are looking at RGB lights, take a look at this one from Litepanels. And staying in the realm of RGBW, let's go talk about NanLite. So this one I'm actually personally interested in. This is NanLite Forza 60C. We were actually able to check this out at NAB. We just couldn't talk about it because it was a prototype and it wasn't ready for prime time. But this thing, if you know about the Forza 60 or the 60B, which is a nice tiny light, I mean, you can see it right here, handheld. It's about, I'll show you right, it's about this big. This is a expert standard universal size measurement right here, this. It's about this big. It's awesome. So you're looking at a small lightweight fixture that can give you RGBW light, and you can even handhold it with a battery pack if you wanted to. But it's what I found the most appealing about it was not only just the small form factor, easy to rig up and stuff like that, but the color was very saturated. When you have smaller light sources like this, and not like, you know, when you're not talking about a 2x1 panel and you're talking about something that's the size of your palm, the saturation of the color kind of tends to go down or gets watered down. You don't really get that like punched out, really dense color tone that you want if you want like red or purple or whatever. Here, I found it extremely saturated for what this is, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it has to do with this lens again in front of this LED. So behind here you see this like little yellow tint. That's the actual, you know, chip, the LED itself, but it has a little bit of distance for the RGB to mix, and then it hits this glass and it really mixes together and then expels from the unit, creating a saturated color. So I'm pretty excited about this one. $700 for this is a pretty nice price point for a light that's this form factor. Also keep in mind, you can put modifiers on this, right? So let me see if I can get over to, they've got lanterns, you can get a projector head on it. I mean, this is a guy hand holding a projector head RGBW unit. Just think about that. You know, it's really versatile, and you know, you can get run and gun with it, or you can have it just be in a smaller set. Like let's say in this right here for a back wall, I could have every color I want dialed into a unit this big. Now let's say I get 2 units. I got a key light right here that's over a monitor that's probably against the wall, so I don't have to worry about having a lot of distance off the wall, and I can go and light the background with 2 units. I'm in and out of there, right? I got a nice color in the, I got nice accurate neutral color in the front for my key, and I have whatever color I want in the back. And if I wanted to, I can keep dialing that color around and change that background to whatever I want, so my content doesn't always look the same every time. So let's say it's like a holiday, I can spin it to green for St. Patrick's Day, and that's what we're doing that week, so it won't feel like samey, you know, when all your videos look the same. That's a specific use case, but that's just my headspace when it comes down to smaller form factor, especially when we're all producing things at home or in smaller areas now, right? We're not all renting studios. Or if you're someone that is out there doing a lot of production work for yourself, having a light that's this small, just always on hand, just in case you need it for a separation light, a hair light, some type of drama spotlight, right? Because there's also this attachment. I know I'm talking really fast this week. I'm sorry, guys. There's also this, which is the reflector that goes on. You can see that it's like it's really like, you know, narrow, and it's really pumping out straight forward. So it's a little snoot feeling-ish, not really a snoot, but it could. Focusing Fresnel with barn doors. I mean, look at this. You can do whatever you want with this light. I will say that where you're sacrificing, you're not going on super power here. We're looking at an 88 watt unit. I think they rated it 88 watts. They say 60 because I feel like that's what NanLite does. They give you all the power they can, but they'll tell you it'll stay super stable at 60. But 88 watts is pretty good depending on what your situation is. If you are in an environment that you can control the light in the space, that's a good amount of power. You can get what you're looking for out of it. If you're trying to battle a lot of ambient light, might not be the one for you, but it could be the one to have on hand when the light starts falling and you need something to fill in while you're out there on set. Again, plug in or using a battery. We use them a lot, actually. The 60B and 60 normal, regular or whatever, just daylight. We use that at the Streamlab all the time. If you watch Adorama XP on Twitch, I shoot live, or we film there for some of the videos here on Adorama TV. We do tend to use those lights just because they're so easy. We can stack 4 on a shelf where we need like one model light that's like a 300 or something. So we're fans. I think it's pretty good, and you guys should check it out if you're looking for something with such capabilities. So these are just some cool things I wanted to jump on the channel and talk about this week. I'm going to give you guys my shout of the week. I'm going to give it over to Paul Ip, who is a friend to Adorama, has been to a lot of our hands-on workshops as extra hands, you know, instructor, and just sharing some of his knowledge. So check him out, Paul Ip, right here. He's a really solid dude. He's been around for a long time, especially in the New York scene, the community, and the industry in general. He knows pretty much everything that's been going on for so many years in this industry. So go ahead and check out his Instagram. I know he's trying to do a lot of stuff. He's also a writer for a few of the blogs out there. So check out his work. Oh, I didn't know you were a board member of APA. Well, there you go. So check out his Instagram, give him a follow, tell him I said what's up. And for question of the week, I'm gonna get a little weird on this one. So with all these new things coming out, we have so much at our fingertips. The gear gets smaller, lighter, more accessible, price points get lowered. We don't have to use things like gels. We can just spin a dial and get whatever we want. With all this ease of use happening, with all this extra stuff that we can fit in a backpack that would normally take like 5 cases to pull off, what about the gear gets you inspired? Is there a feature that you've been exposed to that ignited something in you that you weren't able to do before? Is there something you're looking to do? Are you someone that's been shooting stills, and now that your camera basically does such great 4K video anyway or whatever, are you getting into video? Are you making films? Are you doing short clips? Let me know down below, what about the gear has inspired you? Feature, whatever. I don't care what it is, the way it looks, the way it feels, whatever makes you want to go use it or what you're doing with it. Let me know down below, what about the gear has been inspiring you? All right, but that's gonna do it for me. If you want to check me out on all the social stuff, Last X Witness. I put a lot of new videos on my own personal YouTube channel. Check them out, including a vlog from Shutterfest and NAB if you guys are interested in anything like that. Yell at me on Twitter, join me live on Twitch, and all these other things. But for now, hit like, share this video around, hit subscribe, plus the bell so you get notified when Adorama puts out more videos like this. I'll see you guys down in those comments. See you next time. Later.